All right, what's good, YouTube? So, if you haven't heard, Canelo Alvarez is going to be fighting Amir Khan. He's going to defend his lineal WBC middleweight title against Amir Khan. Okay, it's going to be on HBO pay-per-view. It's going to be at a catchweight at 155. It's going to be on May 7th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Okay. I don't even know where to begin, but I guess let's begin with talking about the whole Cinco de Mayo thing. I haven't heard anyone bring this up because remember last year when Golden Boy and Oscar and Canelo wanted to fight for that Mexican holiday? They wanted to fight for that holiday. They felt like that holiday belonged to them. Even though Floyd beat them, they were going to even go as far as trying to get Cotto and Canelo on the same night as Floyd and Pacquiao. Remember that? I mean, obviously it didn't fall, it fell through. It didn't happen. I mean, that would have been a bad decision to have two pay-per-views, especially in a pay-per-view on the night of the biggest pay-per-view ever. So it didn't go down, but Oscar felt like Canelo deserves that holiday. And now they got it. They got it. And this is the fight that we get. We have to pay for this fight. Amir King Khan against Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez. And this is for the middleweight title. Even though Canelo hasn't fought any middleweights, neither has Khan. In fact, Khan hasn't even fought any junior middleweights. Khan has just barely fought at 147. Khan hasn't even fought a puncher at 147. Khan has one of the worst chins in boxing. So, how's this fight not a mismatch? Because as talented as Amir Khan is, he's talented. There's no doubt about it. He's probably more skilled than all of the fighters that he lost to. He's more skilled than all of the fighters that knocked him down or gave him tough fights. He's very talented, but you can beat him because you can knock him down. It is what it is. Marcos Maidana, pre-Robert Garcia, Marcos Maidana, almost came back and won that fight. Julio Diaz, not a puncher, dropped him with a left hook. Danny Garcia, pretty good puncher, dropped him with a left hook. Breeders Prescott, down at 140, dropped him with a left hook, knocked him out. I mean, there's a pattern here, okay? Even Chris Algieri, Amir Khan's last fight, I don't know how long ago it was, but it's been about a good 8-9 months or so. Chris Algieri, who is not a puncher, okay, at 147. He hasn't been fighting at 147 for long himself. He actually wobbled Khan a few times in that fight. Okay? In a fight that Khan was in a pretty heavy favorite to win. A lot of people thought, including myself, that fight was a mismatch. Okay? But in that fight, we saw a much improved, Chris Algieri. Where am I going with this? Well, we know what Canelo's plan is, okay? Well, his first plan is not to fight Golovkin. Try to avoid this guy by any means necessary, just like every other middleweight, all right? We knew he was going to have a tune-up fight. I figured the fight would be against a Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado, experienced fighter. He's been in the ring with plenty of top 154 and 160 fighters. So I figured that would be a good tune-up match. I figure Vanes Monterosa, another guy that, yeah, Canelo should beat, but would give him a tough fight. Vanes Monterosa gave everybody a tough fight. Same with Gabe Rosado. You know, Vanes Monterosian been in there with Lara, Andrade. A lot of the top guys are Charlo, Jamel Charlo. He been in there with those guys. And he gave them all a tough fight. I mean, Andrade probably looked the best against him, but even Andrade got dropped in that fight, you know? So I figured it'd be like one of those two guys, you know, one of those two guys. Vanes Monterosian could fight on either network, you know, so is Gabe Rosado. You know, Gabe Rosado could fight anywhere. So I figured one of those two guys. You know, if you ask me, I thought it would be one of those new guys. If Clottey had beaten Gabe Rosado, I figured it'd be Joshua Clottey. You know, but we get Amir Khan. And it's a joke of a fight. You know, for you to finally get your holiday and you give us this fight, it's a joke. Canelo, who is not the most skilled boxer, but he's well-rounded. Okay? There's a couple of fights in there that are questionable. You know, I don't think he beat Lara. We know he lost to Floyd. And some people even want to argue that Trout won that fight. Even people are arguing that Cotto won the fight against Alvarez. With all, I mean, those are all good fighters. So, you know, if he got into close competitive fights, at least it was with good fighters. You know, good fighters. Like, he's improved over the years. But to fight Amir Khan, what exactly is the purpose of it? Khan is a guy that's fighting at 147. Okay, you are the lineal middleweight champion. Why are you fighting Amir Khan? What is this going to do to prepare you for a guy like Golovkin? I don't think Golovkin is part of the plan, to be honest. I don't think that fight is going to happen. At least not anytime soon. Not in 2016. I don't see the point. They both win, though. Both parties win. Not the fans. The fans don't win. But the camps win. Because Canelo Alvarez is going to fight someone that he's going to look good against. Okay? And Amir Khan, he wins because this is what he wanted. He wanted a big name fight on pay-per-view. He only wanted to fight Floyd. Then he went, and I said this last year. I made a video called Amir Khan is an opportunist. All boxers are opportunists. We know that. We know all boxers are looking for the best opportunity for themselves. Okay, but Amir Khan stands out amongst all opportunists. Okay, he stands out. He's willing to cut corners and take layoffs to get the fight that he wants. He wants to talk his way into a big fight. Okay, because since he got knocked out, who did he really fight? He didn't fight any top fighters at 140 or 147 since he's been. Who has he fought to secure that spot, that big fight with a big name fighter? Who has he done it against? Okay, Carlos Molina, Julio Diaz, Chris Algieri, Devin Alexander, Luis Collazo. Beating those guys, how is that going to secure you to get a good fight? I'm not saying you're going to get a fight with Mayweather or Pacquiao if you were to beat Keith Thurman, if you were to beat a Danny Garcia or a Timothy Bradley. It doesn't mean that you will, but at least it gives you more leverage instead of just fighting fighters that are losing to other fighters in the division. You know, Luis Collazo, he's been losing on and off, you know. Victor Ortiz put him back on the map. And Victor Ortiz, he hasn't been the same mentally for a long time now. You know, Devin Alexander, I mean, he's taking losses, L's here and there now. He's taking L's left and right. You know? Chris Algieri got knocked down by Pacquiao 6 times. You know, and he's still improving. You know, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, Chris Algieri did a hell of a lot better against Khan than people expected. But he got what he wanted. Amir Khan did not want to risk getting knocked out by, and people, I see people saying that Amir Khan has balls or he has courage to fight Canelo Alvarez. No, that's not courage. It's not courage. Remember, he did not want to fight Keith Thurman. He did not want to fight Kell Brook. Okay? He was fronting like he wanted to fight Danny Garcia. Obviously, he doesn't want to fight him neither. He figured he was not fighting any punchers. He has not fought a puncher since he got knocked out. He has not fought one punchers. And Algieri had wobbled him 2 or 3 times in that fight. Julio Diaz knocked him down. You saw what happened when Julio Diaz fought Keith Thurman? Man, it's clear as day that this fight is a mismatch. Khan said, listen, I'd rather get knocked out. If I get knocked out, at least I get knocked out against a guy that's on pay-per-view. One of the 4 top fighters, or popular fighters in the sport. You know? Floyd, Pacquiao, went from Floyd, went to Pacquiao. Didn't work. All right, mentioned Cotto. Nothing happened there. Now he got Canelo Alvarez. And out of the 4 guys, I think he has even a lesser chance of beating Canelo than the other guys. Because this guy is much bigger, much a bigger puncher. You know? He doesn't have a chance of beating this guy, in my opinion. Oh, I do think he has height and, you know, he's good at, you know, he's a rangy fighter. Okay? He's definitely fast. We all know that. He's skilled. He can win rounds against Canelo, but Canelo's going to knock him out. Khan is still hittable. He's still a sucker for a left hook. The same punch that every other fighter knocked him out with or knocked him down. This fight is a mismatch. You know it's a mismatch when everybody is saying online Canelo might actually kill Amir Khan. Now, we all don't want no one to get seriously hurt or injured or die, of course. But it's a figure of speech. It's that much of a mismatch. I haven't seen people say this since Danny Garcia announced he's fighting Ron Salka. It's that much of a mismatch. Khan gets what he wants because even when he gets knocked out, he's going to go into his next fight. Oh, I'm the A side. I've been on pay-per-view. I've been on the ring with Canelo Alvarez. You know? Danny Garcia. He's going to name fighters that he lost to. I'm the A side. So, yeah, he rather gets knocked out by Canelo than get knocked out by Kell Brook. Or Danny Garcia. Or Keith Thurman. Guys that's called him out. He rather goes and get knocked out by Canelo because Canelo is going to be the far favorite to win this fight. Canelo is supposed to knock him out. He's supposed to knock him out. You know, it's not supposed to be competitive here. Canelo wasn't even fazed by Cotto. That's why I think Cotto, a lot of people feel Cotto won that fight. Cool. But Cotto's punches didn't have any effect on Canelo. And that was the best shape I've ever seen Canelo come in. Only thing I could say is that if Canelo does not knock him out, if he can't drop him, you know, if he can't land a punch clean enough, which I don't see happening, but if it were to go the distance, I think Khan can win rounds against Canelo. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, with the volume and the precision, yeah. Definitely. He got the speed. You know, I mean, listen, Khan is a highly skilled boxer. No one's taking nothing away from him. But he does not have a chin. And this is why guys that Khan is better than the fighters that gave him trouble. That's the reality. You know, the guy is talented, but you can beat him. Because he's hittable. And when you touch his chin, he's going down. He's going to go down. What happens when Canelo... This is crazy. I mean, look at it like this. Canelo fought Josecito Lopez, right? Lopez came up to 154. Lopez is a guy. Lopez was fighting down at 140, 147. Comes up to fight Canelo. All right? Canelo bullies him. Beats him down. At least Lopez is a tougher fighter. He's a tougher fighter, you know? He's a tougher fighter, you know? I believe him to take a better punch than Amir Khan. But Amir Khan, it's I don't even know what to say at this point. I don't know. I can't believe this is pay-per-view. HBO should be very disappointed. HBO, this is disappointing, man. You know, Pascal Kovalev should not have gone down. I liked the first fight, but we all knew that Kovalev, all he had to do was box a little better, and he could dominate Pascal. Pascal was only good for a few rounds, you know? Nobody wanted to see that rematch, and now we're getting this on pay-per-view. This is a joke. And the fact that Amir Khan is getting a middleweight title shot at the lineal championship before Golovkin does, it's a joke. It's a slap in the face. How do you make history? How do you make history at this point? How do you become undisputed? When you got guys like Canelo parading around with a title that for a division that he's not even fighting in. It's a joke. I will not be paying for this fight. I might not even watch it. I do not support this fight. I didn't support Danny Garcia against Rod Salka. I don't support this fight neither. You know, this fight is a joke. I mean, if Amir Khan finds a way to come out and win this fight, good for him. He's TBE. He's TBE if he wins this fight. But this fight is a joke. This fight is a joke on paper. And I'm expecting Canelo to knock him out within 4 rounds. Khan got what he wanted, you know. He talked his way into a big fight. His name is out there. Everybody knows he wants to be famous here in America because that's all he really cares about. He doesn't care about the UK. He wants to be famous here. It's clear. He wants to be known here. That's why I don't know why Kell Brook's sitting around trying to fight him, because Kell Brook is pretty much doing the same thing that Khan was doing with Mayweather. You know, he's taking up these easy tune-ups, hoping that in order to not lose, for he could fight Amir Khan. Now Amir Khan's not fighting you, bro. If he gets knocked out, he'll fight you. He'll fight Thurman or whatever because he has nothing to lose. This is his last shot. If he gets knocked out again, he feels like, all right, then I'll go fight these little guys. These little guys that's not as popular. But the fight is a joke. If for it to be pay-per-view, it's a joke. I'm not paying for that. Send me the link to the fight. And you know what? I still might not even watch it. Just hit me with a knockout. I'll just go look at the knockout. This fight is a joke. I'm not supporting this fight.